Good afternoon, family. Elder Patillo, Truth and Love Ministries. Listen, I know I haven't been around in a while, but I just had some situations that I had to deal with, and so I have this little message that's been designed with you in mind. We are all people who face similar things. Uh, Sometimes we don't face similar things, but in most cases, or in many cases, we do, especially as you get older and especially when you're dealing with health. So, one of the reasons why I haven't been around for a while is because I had what you call a health scare. And I don't want to go into a lot of details, but I thank God because God spared me. Being a man, a stubborn man, didn't want to go to the doctor and everything, and I should have learned my lesson. And some of you all know why the lesson should have been taken a few months ago from somebody else's situation. But as a lot of men do, or as a lot of men don't do, they don't like to go to the doctor and take care or check up on certain things, or just a general checkup. Uh, because as men, we don't want to feel vulnerable. We want to feel like we're always strong. We want to feel, we don't like to get in situations where we look like we are weak, or that we find out that we're weak. But the reality of it is we all are weak in some area, and all of us are vulnerable to sicknesses and disease and different things like that. So I thank God that the miracle is that I'm sitting here talking to you right now. Uh, my wife put me in a position where, well, let me stop back. Let me stop and say this. As I said a few minutes ago or a few seconds ago, we don't like to go to the doctor and different things like that. So many years ago, I was told that I was pre-diabetic. Okay. Uh, I made the mistake, as many people do, in the fact that if I'm feeling good, I'm not going to the doctor and I'm not doing any checkups. All right, this is what it has been for me. If I'm feeling good, and I've always felt good, I've never been a sickly person. I've never been down and out for a long time. If I catch a cold, it might last 5 days. You know, uh, I've just never been a sickly person, and I've heard people say if you want to stay well and healthy, don't go to the doctor. So I think I kind of believed in that fallacy. Um, as a believer, I know that God can heal you of anything, but sometimes if you don't go to the doctor and get some checkups, and get some blood work and different things like that, you don't know what you don't know what God needs to heal you from. You don't understand that you got something going on, and you let that thing go for a period of time, and next thing you know, you got a real situation. And nobody knows the will of God to the extent that when this sickness or that sickness is not going to take us out of here or cause us so much pain and suffering. We don't know when God is going to allow that to happen, because we don't know what his mind is on everything. There's been people, and don't get me wrong, I have faith. I believe that God can heal. I've had healings. I've had people lay hands on me and I was healed. I had my greatest thing is I saw my younger brother healed from someone laying hands on him. I saw my son and my daughter be healed by someone laying hands on them. A preacher, my overseer. So, uh, you know, I believe in all that, but sometimes, in our negligence, and sometimes in our stubbornness, where we don't want to go and check on things, we want to rely on the faith of God to heal us and take care of us, but we don't want to go and do the things that we're supposed to do. And it's not just a checkup, but it's the preventive maintenance. Okay, the drinking of water, which I should have got that message from who, Freeze and Philip, those that know who I'm talking about. And I took it to heart, but I didn't do it as much as I should. But now I have to, you know. So my wife, she forced me to go to the doctor after she noticed some changes in me, and she noticed some things that was going on, and I didn't want to go, and I fought it and told her, I'm not going, and nothing's gonna happen. But she put the whammy on me. She started saying if I love her, I'd go, and if I love my children and my grandchildren, I'd go, and different things like that. So I'm like, let me man up. After all these years of not manning up, let me man up. And so that's what I did. And, come to find out, I was walking around and could have had a coma, could have been in a coma in any moment. Okay? So, all of that's over now, and I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. I'm eating right. I've changed my diet. I'm on the exercise regimen every morning. I'm taking the meds that I'm supposed to take, but I'm also taking natural chemicals or natural supplements to keep me in the place that I need to be in my health. And so another thing that happened is my car was stolen, and that happened 1 week. One thing happened, then the next week the other thing happened. And so what I want to say to you, that was, I had insurance and everything, but it was a great inconvenience. It was a great inconvenience. And then to think about the fact that somebody stole it right from in front of my house. I got family there. I like the fact that my neighborhood seemed to be decent and not a lot of crime and stuff. But for somebody to walk up and take your car right from in front of your house like that, that's a trip. You start feeling unsafe and different things like that, and more watchful, which you should be anyway. But didn't believe that we had to watch that hard until now the car is gone and I never got it back. I'm thankful that I got another car, and like I said, had insurance and everything. But the message today, or at this point, is listen. Whatever happens to you, you got to make the adjustments, and then you got to keep it moving. Back in the day, growing up in the hood, we used to always talk about living life on life terms. Some people came out of the substance abuse treatment programs and stuff, and they came out and they was talking about what they learned is you got to live life on life terms. And some of the older people, they would say that you got to live life on life terms. And a lot of people that thought that they was, kicking real live game and stuff, hey man, dig man, you got to deal with life on life terms. But you know what the reality of it is? You have to deal with life on life terms, because you don't know what life is bringing you, and if you don't know what life is bringing you, you got to be able to make adjustments when it comes. All right. When there's things that happens in your life, you got to make adjustments. But the main thing you have to do is keep it moving, because one of life terms is also it's going to keep moving. I had people that I love dearly. They passed away. And the only thing I could do after grieving was wipe my eyes and stand up and keep living. Because one thing about it, no matter who passed away, life is going to keep moving. All right? Life is going to keep moving until life is over. So if someone else dies, that don't mean we're supposed to die. That doesn't mean that we're supposed to stop. We're supposed to keep it moving. Listen, when I got the diagnosis and when I understood that I was almost, any day I could have been in a coma. All right? Any day I could have been in a coma. That shook me for a little bit. But what did I do? I made my adjustments, and once I made my adjustment, my mindset was and is to keep it moving. Keep it moving. I don't care if you get knocked down. You got to get back up and keep it moving. I don't care if they lie on you. You got to get back up and keep it moving. Your friends may walk away from you, which would prove that they wasn't really your friend, or they thought that you wasn't theirs. But no matter what the case is, you got to keep it moving. That's one of life's terms. Life keeps moving, whether you move with it or not. You might as well come to terms with life and move with it. All right? Make your adjustments. Make your navigations, make your negotiations for situations and circumstances that you need to be active in finding options in alternatives. Whatever you got to do. But one thing you have to do is you have to keep it moving. Songwriter said years ago, a gospel song, trouble in my way. I have to cry sometime. Oh, so much trouble. I have to cry sometime. I lay awake at night. But that's all right, because Jesus will fix it after a while. But what was hidden in that song, the part that they mentioned in that song, was if you understand that Jesus is going to fix it after a while, you got to get up and stop crying, and you got to keep it moving. All right? Because if you don't move behind these situations, a lot of time you won't find the answers. You won't find the growth. You won't find the things that make you better. If you stand still and let it beat you down, you become bitter. But that's not the will of God. The will of God is for you to become better. A lot of times people feel like life is not working. The things that they're trying to do is not working. They don't understand that those things are working. They're working on them. If we allow it, life works on us, because it's all about being better at some point. It's all about being better at some point. That's all. It's not about how much we can get. It's not about how much we can have. It's not about how much we can flaunt and try to taunt people with our special gift, talent, skills, and abilities. But it's about what we have on the inside. It's about what we become as human beings. It's about what we become as people. If we become a certain way, we'll draw and attract certain things to us. But if we stand still and stand stagnated, just like the pond in a forest, if it stays stagnated, germs and different type of things like mildew and diseases and things, it begins to grow. Organisms begins to grow and turn that water into something that's polluted because it's stagnated. We got to keep it moving. And so, yeah, they stole my car and I was hot for a minute, but I realized I have to keep it moving. Yeah, I put myself in a position by not going to the doctor and not taking care of myself. I put myself in a position where I could have been in a coma. But although that made me afraid or made me frightened or woke me up, it didn't stop me from moving. I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. Somebody once said that either you're in a problem right now or you just left. Either you in a problem, you just left one, or you're headed to another. No matter where you get caught in life, you're in a situation where you're in a problem right now, or you just left a problem, or you're headed to another one. But the only thing you can do is to keep it moving. If you're headed to another problem, just go through it, deal with it, make adjustments, and keep it moving. If you just left a problem, make sure that you got the lesson from it and let the lesson be a blessing and keep it moving. And if you're in a problem or a situation right now, keep on fighting, keep on struggling, keep on doing what you have to do. But one thing you must do, no matter what happens, you must keep it moving. Keep it moving. You can't stay still, because to stay still is to go backwards. To stay still is to not live. To stay still is not life. To stay still is death. There'll be plenty of time for dying. There'll be plenty of time for not living and being alive on this planet. You got plenty of time for that, but right now, you must understand that it's time to keep it moving. That's why Paul said in the scripture, forgetting those things which are behind, I press toward the mark of the high calling, which is in Christ Jesus. I keep it moving no matter what. This man been bitten by snakes, been beat, been shipwrecked and all those different things. But one thing you never heard about him quitting. You never heard about him not moving. You never heard about him just standing still and just letting life pass him by. Keep it moving, my friend, no matter what. If you get knocked down, get back up. Denzel Washington say, get knocked down 7 times, get back up 8. All right? Listen, sometimes you're going to fall. Make sure you fall forward and not back. All right? That's Mr. P, or that's what people call me, Mr. P, but this is Elder Patillo, Truth and Love Ministry. I got a video coming for you. I've already made the video. It is on my computer at home tonight. I'm going to try to upload it to YouTube. And, I hope it's something that you can enjoy. But I haven't forgotten you. But a lot of things has been taking place in my life. And I have to make some adjustments so I can keep it moving. Is that okay? I'm sure it is. All right? Pray for me. And you'll be hearing from me soon. Thank you so much.